Hello and welcome to Uncovered, the podcast with your host, Jason Irving. Join me in a journey to understand what's truly happening in your world and the world around you. This is not about how you're living life on the surface. It's about what's truly driving you from under the covers. I'm going to take you on a journey to deeply uncover the reason why you are here, the ultimate purpose in your problems and the way that they have shaped your life up until now. See, I believe you have a purpose, and your problems are the highway towards ultimate realization of that journey towards freedom and the reconnection of your true self. I've been told I have a different spin on most things, and I'll be giving you my understanding of life, love, and what we're all here for, purpose. To get the best out of this podcast, drop what you already know so you can discover what's beyond you. So join me, let's play this game of life and bring on liberation, transformation, and change. Let's do this. Hey guys, welcome to Uncovered. I'm here with Darrell. How are you, mate?
Going well.
So I'm really excited to have a bit of a chat with you about, what you do and how you do your business in Canberra. So tell us about, your business, what you actually do here.
So my main business is construction. We build commercial buildings. We keep some of them, rent them out, and we have a property portfolio, so we construct, and then we maintain them as well.
Yeah, wow. So that's a big responsibility, mate.
Yeah, we run about 35, bit over 35,000 square meters now. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
wow,
fair
that's
bit
a
of
lot.
commercial type space. Yeah.
So I've known you for a little while.
Yep.
We have a little bit of a competition about who is the favorite with my mum.
No, your mum loves me more than you. You can't handle it.
Yeah, no, I
But
can't
sure,
handle
let's
that.
call it a competition.
It is a little bit of a competition. I love the way that you are. Like you do this amazing event for charity for the people of Canberra, and you set this up a couple of years ago, and I'd love to ask you why you set that up. What was the reason for setting
So,
up something to look after Canberra?
it's now 4 years old. So we've had two events. We do them biannually. So we've just finished our second event a couple of months ago, which you were at.
Yeah.
And that was tumbling around in my head for probably a good more than 5 years and up to 10 years about doing something to give back. And we did all these little bits and pieces. You gave money here, gave money there. We were sending from my grandfather's time money overseas to sponsor a kid. So that had been happening for 30 years or whatever, probably more, 40 years, 50 years, whatever. And I just wanted to get everything together. And once we got everything together, it put some more into it and
Yeah.
then get more back, and give more. And then from there, I'm second generation. My grandfather came here from Holland after the war, set up here. And then my dad was born here and I was born here and my son was born here, all in Canberra. And so we have three generations here. So the idea is that you give where you live. And that's what I've always thought, if we can fix our own backyard, then we can go next door, or then we can go down the road, or then we can go, for lack of a better word, to the next state or to the next country. I think we do a very poor job of looking after people here. We spend so much resources and time and everything in other places, and so that the idea was to help people right here, right? Because the people don't realize they all, and their mindset is everybody. And in Canberra is a pretty well-to-do place.
Yeah, it
We
is.
have a lot of politicians. We have a lot of high net worth individuals, or not even high net worth individuals. We have a lot of people that just earn good money
Yeah.
here. They earn good money. It's a nice place to live. It's a lovely place to be and everything. But so people, you look at that and you don't see that little bit that's just underneath the surface. And it's kind of like that job you got to do in your house. You walk past it every day and eventually it's not there. You don't even see it
Yeah.
because you walk past it every day. You don't see it. When you see on the TV about a flood or the homeless people here or then this, you see it. You're not walking past it every day. So I think it's important for people to do that first. And I think there's fewer people that do that. There's more people like Canberrans I've found out since are really generous. Like
Yeah.
they're per capita, and it probably goes on income. They're more they're the most generous in Australia.
Yeah, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but they don't give it here.
Yeah, that's really
So
interesting, isn't it?
it's given, but the majority of it goes somewhere else. So,
Mm.
and I'm not saying that's wrong. There's all different ways and means, and I'm very specific about how the money goes. And that was part of doing this event is that you then get a bit of a say in where that money might go and the things
Mm.
that are important. Everybody has their own thing. I am not affected in any way, shape, or form by drugs or alcohol. Our family's had a really nice upbringing. It's a beautiful place to live. We don't have those things. I can you talk about it, I can have a red wine, I can have a beer, but I don't have a problem with it. So
Yeah.
I don't have a problem. So I like the people that do, and they've had problems with it, or they advocate for that. So my things, I got to choose what I wanted, and there's nothing wrong with those things. I'm not saying they need money too, but the things that we love and our family love is people that are in a situation not of their own making.
Yeah, I
So
love that.
that and the best example you can give in that in Canberra is probably Pegasus. They're an organisation that supplies a facility and the horses and the riders and the people to. And when you see that type of thing, and that's what we like, you see the the smile on the kids' faces on the horse, right? So predominantly you're helping out the person. They're in that situation, not of their own making.
Mm.
But you think about the mum and the dad, they're not in that situation of their making either, right? So we're making their lives. So you watch them smile. And then even the people the person who runs the place to the people who train there and the horses there even are well looked after. So everybody smiles. But that's the sort of thing I like is the stuff where it's not of your own making, homeless, women's homeless. So that type of domestic violence type homeless stuff,
Mm.
and you could you could put that in both categories, their own making because they married it, but they're not in, they've been financially controlled and they have no money and they need somewhere to live. So they're our sorts of things. So it was
Mm.
important for me to know where the money went. So I ended up with a really good office manager in, for lack of a better, she's my PA, she's my office manager. She organized my life, right? And
Yeah,
before her, I didn't really have anyone. And I told her this idea, and she's like, "Let's do it." So
that's
it's
awesome.
about having probably it was the right time, it was the right people around you because I've mentioned that to other people and nothing happened, But she's like, "We
Yeah.
could do that." And I'm like, "Would you be able to do this?" And she says, "Yeah." So, and that's what happened, having the right people around you and being at the right time. So that was all very important. So the idea was there a long time ago, long-winded answer, a
Yeah.
long time ago, and the idea was there, and then giving back to your own community, and so I think now we've raised $450,000 in a bit over two years.
That's amazing, mate.
Yeah, so or somewhere near that, which is not too bad. And when I say we, that's a collective of all the people that were in that room tonight, that night, and at that
Yeah.
time. So, and the money that we give, yeah. So,
Yeah, I love that. And I think this is really important, listeners, is that quite often we give to something that's we don't know where the money's going. We don't know what's happening. And there's some amazing local charities in Canberra that do so many things, and you don't realize how many shitty things are happening in
mm,
Canberra until you find out what these charities are actually doing.
absolutely.
And you're like, oh my God, we're walking around and everything looks nice and clean here. There's so much, there's lots of poverty here. There's
Yeah,
lots of issues here,
there's issues everywhere. Yeah,
and it's massive.
yeah.
And looking after your own backyard, I think, is a really important aspect because I want to ask you this as well, Darrell. Like, I know your family
hmm
and the type of people that you are. And I'm just really inspired by, watching how you are as a person and the way that your family are and what you do that actually makes sure that you're looking after your generational experiences. You've got, as you said, there's a couple of generations
Mm,
that are all together hanging out, and you work with your son. Your son's in the business as well, so
hmm
it's quite amazing to actually watch because he's so respectful and so considerate. He's very, and so are all of you. How do you infiltrate that sort of manner and way of being into your family's lives
to to keep that going? Because I know a lot of people who you've created a lot of success in your life, you can just give to the kids and they end up ruining everything.
Hmm.
What do you do with your family, and have you created such an amazing ecosystem that that brings such a great commodity to this Canberra community? Because you don't, from what I see, is you don't just make buildings, right? You are great people, right? And so it's really nice to know that, there are people in construction that are, I would say, assholes, right? And there are
Polite way
ones
of putting
ones ones that are not, right?
it.
And you're one of the good ones,
Mm.
And so what is it that you've done with your family to bring on that, not that sense of entitlement, to show you need to look after your neighbor?
That's a hard question to answer, but the most important thing is you lead. For me, I lead by example, and
Yeah.
that's what's happened from my grandfather to my father to me. And the example changes because
Mm.
parenting has changed from my grandfather's time to my father's time to my time. We all spend now more time probably doing housework but certainly minding the children. So that example changes. But
Mm.
I think for me, I don't expect anybody to do something if I can't do it myself. I've always been able to do it myself, you know what I mean? And that setting that example, so the example of, you talk about the people in business and like I don't want anybody, I want to make money because money's not for me everything,
Mm.
so I always say it's not about the money, but money buys the petrol to get you to a place. Or
Yes.
it buys the caravan so you can holiday in a place or something. So the money's important, don't get me wrong, but it's not the be all and end all. And so to tread on somebody else's toes to make a bit more money does not make any sense. So if someone's not making any money, and so many collapses in construction and everything, even from a governmental type thing, if they just negotiated with that builder to pay them a little bit more money, they wouldn't have gone broke.
Right.
And so I've never expected anybody to do anything for nothing, and they can always come to me and go, well, mate, we're not going to make any money with stuff, and then somebody goes, well, it's not my fault, you know what I mean? I don't care. And that's where it all stems from, the I
Mm.
don't care, and that's well, we do care. We've always cared, and we have a good relationship with all of our subcontractors because we do care about them. We care about them. We care about their families. We care about all. So when you employ these people, you're not just employing one person. So you might, for you might throughout the year, you might have a couple of thousand people work for you, subcontractors and
Yeah,
everything.
wow.
But you think about a couple of thousand, so then they all have a partner. A lot of time the partners work too, but without one income, it certainly falls over, right? So now you've got 4,000 people, right? On average, we have two kids. So now you're looking after 8,000 people
Wow.
when you just do it on a really quick, and 2,000 is a conservative number. So when you think about it like that, your commitment to look after those persons. So my commitment is to make money. So my dad always taught me, and again, examples, and he just taught me, so when you get paid, you pay everybody, right? Because
Yeah.
that money's not yours. If you've got a bill, like some people are paying 90 days, 120 days, 200 days, you got to fight tooth and nail to get your money out of them, right? It's not your money. I don't know why people do it just to sit it in their bank account, to look at it at night. I don't know. But like, so we pay everybody. And then my dad, the interesting thing my dad taught me after that, so there's two more rules to it. He's like, so you pay everybody, right?
Yeah.
And then you save some because before you take some, you save some because somebody's forgot to invoice you. And
Gotcha.
that's true just about every month where somebody rings me up, "Mate, I forgot to put on my invoice, so can you pay me?" I'm like, yeah, I've got enough in reserve. I can pay you, no worries. Because again, you don't pay him, he doesn't pay the next bloke, his family, they don't, all the time. And it's not always dire straits, you know what I mean? And then he said, and then you take some, but not all. So you take a little bit for yourself. And then you leave some in there and you build that as well. So
Right.
they were and my dad just taught me that even not by, I don't think my dad ever said that to me. He just led by example in what he did. I don't think my dad's a real bad teacher when it comes to sitting down one on one, like
Right.
teaching you a maths equation. But
Yeah.
if you stand next to him while he's doing pi r squared times the depth of this hole to work out the concrete and then this and that, and you watch, and my dad's a really good teacher, you know what I mean? So again, it's the example,
Yeah.
not the actual the teachings, because he like I said, he's a bad teaching, but those examples that you set and the examples that he set for me, and that's one very, very good example. So we always pay everybody um,
Yeah, I love
first.
that. So, and I think that's a really important thing. So, we're talking about how, listeners, how integral your company is and what you do and what you teach around finance. And so, I'm assuming that, when you have your subcontractors and all the people who are working for you, they're going to walk away feeling that they know your integrity and your values. So they're not going to be thinking that they're going to be gypped by you. So
Yeah.
you can hold your integrity really, really high. Maybe that doesn't happen on the other side sometimes, I would assume. But on your side, you can walk away really proud with all of the jobs that you've created. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think so. You know that you get some builders that have to hold retention to get people to come back to fix them. So they hold 10% of their money
Okay.
for 12 months, 18 months, whatever it is. And it's a struggle to get that. I never hold retention. I'd call my roofer today and he'd be like, all right, I'll come in tomorrow morning. And tomorrow's a Saturday. We're Friday. So he will just do that because I paid him. I
Right.
paid it, so you don't need to. Your honor and and that respect you get back is way more than some other companies. And so the two companies, someone's holding money on him, and I don't hold any money. He doesn't have to come back to my job, and he'll still come to mine first. Guarantee it. I'll pay him on time, and I don't hold 10% or 15%, whatever that is. So yeah, it's really important. And I sleep well at night because I think that's why I sleep well because I'm so busy and your head's everywhere all the time. But I think those sorts of things help me sleep at night
Yeah,
knowing
okay.
that's the way we operate, and we always have. We always have. So yeah.
Yeah, so that's a really, really different model though to the rest of the world that I
You
know of.
struggle now because even the bank goes, we want retentions because the bank
Right.
says, oh, we won't give you this money. So now we have to try to find money elsewhere to try to finance even our own projects because they want us to hold this 10%. We're like, well, we don't agree with this. And the banks are trying to
Mm.
make us do stuff like this that is fundamentally for us not how we go about or want to do business in this town.
So here's my question. This is what I'm thinking that you're doing is you're offering trust, right?
Yeah.
That's what from an intangible perspective, you're offering trust to say, I'm going to trust you, and if I can trust you, you'll trust me back. And what I'm hearing is the people that work for you, they create a very old system, which is
Mm.
a handshake agreement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just going in and saying, I'll shake your hand, you shake mine if
Hmm.
we do the right thing. And that's sort of gone in this day and age.
Yeah.
But you've kept it.
Yeah, I remember if I do a deal and it's about a business deal, it's about money, it doesn't even have to have a handshake. If I agreed to do something, I agreed to do something and I will pay or do what I said I agreed to do. It doesn't matter whether it doesn't even need a handshake. I remember, and again, just sitting, I was real young and my dad, and we're in with the Cusacks, which is a really old Canberra family too, been here since my grandfather was here. He used to have bus services between um, Cowra because there was a war camp out there, an old war camp out there, and my grandfather tells stories of going, but they're a really old family here too, as old if not older than us. And I remember old man Cusack, and I forget his name. He's passed on now, so the kids are all there. He sat at the end of the boardroom and we were talking about an extension to his building. At the time, it would have been a couple of $1 million, whatever it was. It wasn't it, but it was a decent number at that time. You know what I mean? This years ago, I would have been a young fella. And my dad goes, right, how you want to do this? Rolled the plans across the table and he goes, we just did. That was it. That was it. Just rolled the plans across the table. So they're the sorts of things again where it's a lesson, where it's a life lesson, where you get these people that were, and I looked up to them because they'd been successful. Cusacks are still successful to this day in
Right.
business in Canberra, and you look up to that. You look at things like that, and those things of I remember just. That's a distinct memory where it just rolled the plan. My dad will tell the exact same story. Rolled the plans off the table. Job's yours. That was it. We
That's
can we
it.
can do this, this, and this. You have to do this, this, and this. Plans rolled across the table. That was it.
And that's done. That's
We
a
did shake hands when we stood up off the table, but my point is it doesn't matter how it's done. You say you're going to do something, you just do it.
yeah.
If you're not don't if you can't do it or you're not going to do it, don't say you're going to do it. And if you do say and I must admit sometimes I say I'm going to do it and I don't know how to do it or I haven't done it before,
Yeah.
but I get busy doing it. Do you know what I mean?
You
Because I am
figure it
going to
out.
do it. I am going to do it. I was just telling you before I've gone back to school this year. Never been to uni in my life, and I want a A-class license. It's one of the last things I want to do for myself, not really for anybody else, but for myself. And I've never done it before, and I'm like, I'm just going to do it. Just, and you get busy doing it. If you say you can do it, go and do it. Otherwise, don't say you're going to do it. Too many people say, and I very rarely say something before I do it either. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and that causes a little bit of friction with people. My ex-wife, possibly, I'm like, did this and this and this. She's like, I didn't even know that was happening. I'm like, oh. So and some stuff is just done really, really fast. But yeah. But
So here's my question to you, right? You have this amazing model of the world, which is, you say you're going to do something, even if you don't know how, you find a way, right? How, but for the people who don't have that button press to be able to go, I want to do something, but I'm too scared. How do you actually get over your fears of whether it's going to work or not? Like what is it that allows you to say yes and find a way to the other person who says yes, but I'm too scared and hesitates? What is it in you that allows you to actually push through that
I
line?
guess if I say yes, I already know 10% of it. You know what I mean? I'll know 10% of it.
Okay.
And it's a well-known fact, that some people can go into a meeting, know 90%, not make up 10%. Other people can know 10% and make up the 90% as they go. You know what I mean? So
Right.
if I'm going to say yes to
Okay.
something, it has to be something that I know I can achieve. You know what I mean? Or you have some ability to achieve just because you've never done it. Like it might be some type of construction that I've never done before, but I can do construction. So I know if it's, as long as it's got to do with construction, I'll be able to do it. Just a
Yeah,
matter of
okay.
learning how. And then you surround yourself with the right people, and you use their skills. In high school, my daughter's in high school at the moment,
Yeah.
and she always jokes about cheating with the guy next door. And I'm like, you know what that is? I said, nowadays I pay the smart people. And
Yeah.
they all sit around me. I said, but if you paid them, that'd be cheating in high school to give you all the answers. But
Yeah.
now I pay everybody, all the smart people. And that's what it's about. It's about putting the right team together, or the right people around you to do whatever task is in front of you. Because inevitably, if it's a decent sized task, you can't do it all yourself. You need the right people.
Yeah.
And
So
that comes
so
to
you're
paying and loyalty. And
again,
yeah,
it
it
comes
all it all
back down to
entwines. Yeah.
trust again, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So what I'm assuming inside of you, no matter what, and maybe this is what you're teaching your family, right? To trust themselves,
Mm,
right? By example,
mm.
not by voicing. You voice, but you do. And then you're teaching your kids, the kids all the way down the tree to voice, act, do,
Mm,
and show that the result can happen
mm. Yeah. Yes, in a dumbed down. Yeah.
in a dumbed down way.
Yeah.
That's
Not that
beautiful.
I'm meaning to dumb that down, but exactly. Is to make sure, like I said, if you're gonna say yes to something, do it.
Mm,
That can be as simple as saying, yes, I'm going to go have dinner with my wife. Well, do it. Do not do it.
yeah.
Life is all about that sort of stuff,
Yeah,
and I try to, my yeses are too many, and I always try to please everybody. So I struggle for time for myself, which I'm trying to now
Yeah, okay.
change. But at different times in life, you're busy with different things. So, whether it be for your kids, you try to never say, yeah, I think that's a key principle is if you just do it.
So I know you really, really well,
Mm.
right, as a person. Now, your attitude and the way that you are is very, very rare in this day and age,
Mm.
Darryl. And I'll tell you why I think it is, right? I know you're one of these salt of the earth, really, really good people, right? And usually good people don't come first, right?
Mm.
You're an anomaly because you do everything in the right way. You have the integrity. You're a really good human, and you haven't come last.
I work really hard.
So that's the key.
The harder I work, the luckier I get. And that's the same as come up with all my own, sayings, a swag of, but it's the saying is, so if you set to it and you work hard, you achieve, that nothing comes from, everybody goes, oh, you're so lucky that he bought that block or he built that building.
Right.
Well, hang on, when he bought that block, he was the highest bidder. Nobody else wanted to buy it, or whatever reason, you know what I mean?
Mm.
But all of a sudden, when it's finished and it's leased and he's making a heap of money, he's lucky. Well,
Yeah.
no, we just worked really, really hard. And that goes for a lot of people. That's not just me. The
Yeah.
harder you work, the luckier you get. The harder you work, the more blessed you are. That comes to your kids. Like I worked really, really hard with my kids when they're younger. And I think I have beautiful children
You
right
do.
now. And they're growing up really, really nicely. And the way they interact with other people and what I see, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. So again, I'm blessed to have really, really good kids in ways of mannerisms, how my son treats women,
Yeah.
how they would help an old lady across the road, how he would hold a door for someone,
Yeah.
male or female, and all those things, right? So,
Yeah.
but I worked hard at it. So I was lucky or blessed that I have this good son. It's not luck.
No, it's not.
It's
And
not luck.
I
It's
think
hard
this
work.
is I think this is what you want to understand, listeners, is that I work really hard. My mum works really hard. You work really
Mm.
hard. There's varying degrees of success when it comes to financial reward for that, right? Everyone's going to have a certain ability to bring home the bacon, let's say. But the thing that we all three of us have in common is we work hard
Mm.
and we care,
Mm.
right? And I think this is what people who aren't successful in life in general, they are missing that ingredient.
Yeah, I think some people are just only after themselves, and I think that lasts for a while. And
Yeah.
then the people soon drop off, and then it becomes lonely. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think that's important to me is to make sure that those people you pay them right, or you work hard at a friendship or whatever, and it
Yeah.
just stays there. If you don't do those things, it doesn't. So those things work in business, play, whatever.
In every situation. And this is what I think. You tell me if you think the same, mate. Is that life is fucking hard. Like that's how life is. So if you work hard, you're going to get the benefits of it
Mm.
because it matches,
It's really
right?
hard. So I will go and say, like, it's hard, man. And
Yeah.
even like everybody thinks, and again, I'm not focused on money. Money is the net result of doing a good job, but it's not. Too many people are focused on money. I always say like there's 8 billion people on the planet, right?
Yeah.
There's one bloke with the biggest boat. Glitch.
Yeah.
There's one bloke out of those 8 billion people that has the biggest boat in the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want the biggest boat.
Yeah.
I just got my little speedboat that me and my family
Mm.
have, and we go away and we have so much fun. Why do I need a bigger boat? Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? And that it's not. I just don't understand. Like when you have billion, you're never going to be able to spend it. So money is not.
Mm.
I don't.
Well, here's my question to you, mate.
Mm.
What is it that you do want? Like you work really hard, you work really fast, you've got a beautiful partner, amazing family. What is it that
Nothing.
what is it that
I'm
drives you?
done. I'm 49 years old, nearly, not quite, and I'm done. I have everything I could ever possibly want.
Yeah.
But I don't need anything else.
And you still do.
It still works. So
Yeah.
because if I didn't work, it would set a bad example.
I love
But I
that.
don't need so my son still, but I want to set an example to him too that I don't need to work forever. So I started when I was 17. I've been
Yeah.
working 32 years already. So I've done my bit. I've paid a heap of tax.
Mm.
So I want to then also show my son. So I am nurturing and he's just started his apprenticeship in carpentry, started at the
Yeah.
bottom, sweeping floors, doing all that. And I eventually want to bring him in, yes. But I want to then show him that you can also. My dad was good at going away as well because there's a lot of people that are
Mm.
well-to-do, worth a squillion, whatever you want to call it. But they have their work-life balance, or they have this balance where they do only work. That's all they
Yeah.
do, and they don't know how to. I think I like to still show that I can work, and now so at the moment my goal is to take 12 weeks off a year.
Gotcha.
Now, so I've done that 2 years, last 2 years, and I've got 11 weeks booked in, 10 or 11 weeks booked in this year. So I'm
Mm.
trying to do another two because that example is still another example that I'm trying to set for other people
Yeah.
my son coming through. It's not all about that. It's about having a good time along the way.
Yeah, I love that. So
Yeah.
it's like also having a good balance of work, rest, and play.
Yeah, I didn't have the balance of work, rest, and play because I then go home and work on my. Yeah, I think, but yes, yeah, you do, and I'm getting better at that because there was a period of my life where all I did was work. So,
Right.
but I am
Okay.
getting better and I'm changing. And I don't think that changes. You know what I mean? Sometimes through burnout or through whatever
Yeah.
or life, it just gets hard. But if I didn't acquire another piece of land, another car, and I love cars. You know, I love cars.
Yeah.
It wouldn't worry me now. You know, I'm there. I don't want to have the biggest boat. It never, and you know, chances are I probably wouldn't be able to. But even if you know, I don't want to.
Yeah.
You know, I just plod along, do my thing, and love to at the end of the day go home to my little farm and just go home to my family and yeah, do that. So
And just go and hang out.
yeah, yeah.
And so, for the listeners out there, look, how do we gain like you've done this through life experience, and you've had, your generational
Hmm.
understanding around, how to create, wealth and how to create balance and all of those sorts of things. What is one thing that you could probably suggest to the listeners around, what's a key ingredient that you could say, hey, do this and things will be a bit easier for you?
I think you got to surround yourself with the right people. It's very easy to be
Okay.
dragged down, and it's
Mhm.
hard. It's hard to be dragged up, but being dragged up. So you see a lot of the people who have become super wealthy or whatever. They were like friends or acquaintances, or started as an accountant to, you know, I don't know, like one of the mining places, you know what I mean? And they've then just learnt that. So I think you need to, you know, I've always said if somebody comes to me and they want a job or be an apprentice or something, and I'm like, I don't think you're the person for me. And then he turned around and he said to me, okay, I'll work for a week for free. If you think I'm any good, you pay me for the week and then put me on. If I'm not, you can sack me and we won't see each other anymore.
Hmm.
And someone like that backing themselves and then coming in and starting there, and then that doesn't. So in our case, it's a building apprenticeship. So that guy then goes on to build and then build his own houses, and then now he's building high rises and owns them potentially, right? But where he started and where he finished, you know, you have to start somewhere. Some people want to finish as owning the high rise. Well,
Yeah.
sorry, they want to start at the
At the
finish.
finish
And
line.
you can't. So, you know, I've never met an overnight success. I've met a guy once who 17 years in his garage in his mum's house, 17 years, and he sold his business for however many, it was $1 billion, you know what I mean? But he was an overnight success. But it took him 17 years to be an over. Do you know what I mean? I've never
Yeah,
heard
there's
of
no
such
such thing.
rubbish.
Yeah.
It's rubbish. It takes hard work. Life is hard. Work is hard. Everything's hard. But no matter what field you decide to choose, so I'm in construction, I love
Yeah.
construction, I love it. So that's important. You've got to love what you do.
Yeah.
And you've then got to try to find somewhere where you can partner yourself with people that will lift you up and not drag you down. And that goes through school, you know, the whole way through. You get in with the people who are doing drugs and you'll end up in a downward spiral, you know what I mean? You get in with
Yeah.
the kids, you're a D class student, and you start hanging out with the A class students and your grades will be dragged up. They just will
Yeah.
naturally because you will learn stuff off those people
Right.
to be able to drag your grades up. They won't be an A. They're not necessarily, you're not going to be, because some people are just gifted at that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you might go
100%.
from a D to a C or a B, you know what I mean? Because these people are just going, well, here's how I do it. And you're like, I never thought about that way. Do you know what I
Mm.
mean? Even a
Yeah.
maths equation, how you think about a maths equation, how the teacher teaches it, and one person will get it straight away because his brain is just wired that way. And he goes, this
Yeah.
is how I think about that, you know, math times table or whatever. And I think a person starting out needs to work out what they want to do or what they're good at or what they're passionate about
Yeah.
and follow that path. And then you partner yourself with people that will drag you up and you'll get lifted up and up and up and up. And that, mind you, so not everybody, and I'm not totally money motivated. I love money because it's how we keep score. It just is, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I don't think it's the only score. My kids being happy and healthy and my family and then my greater family and then my sister, you know, it is just, but it is nice, you know, we'll get my brothers and sisters. I'm one of six. We'll get all our partners. We'll go to the pizza shop at Garran around the corner here. So there's 12 everyone's got a partner. Then we all have on average 2 kids, plus a couple have 3. So, now we're talking 26, and my mum and dad come with their new partners. So now we're talking 30. And then my grandparents come. So you've got 32 people for an afternoon pizza. It costs $700 for pizzas, you know what I mean? To feed 32 people, whatever it is. Yeah. 3. But so money buys that. Yeah. It buys a pizza for you to have this big thing. But that's not what the money's about. The money's about everybody getting together and having that experience, you know what I mean? So it's not about the money, it's about the experience. So some people, their passion might be in, let's say, some sort of charity organization.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to be about money. I think too many people, their success is successful because they've gone and volunteered for this charity, and then they've got a job, and all of a sudden one day they're the CEO of Hands Across Canberra, because that was their passion. That's the top of their game. It's not monetary. It's not everybody has to be monetary. If it wasn't, it would be a really boring world. But they're driven just by this sense of making change. So the more change they can make, that with, and they get paid along the way. Don't get me wrong, you have to, because you have to live and everything. But if that person wants to be, you got to find someone that can mentor and train you and lift you up. Someone or something, an organisation that will take you to where you've got to go. I think people miss that. They want to be there at the end. You have to have this plan of where, not even you have to have an idea of where you start, where you want to finish.
Yeah, I love that. And I think this is really, really important. So listeners, we've got this amazing man who's a great family man, really successful in business, really humble as a human being. And he's given you guys some really amazing pieces of information here. Work hard if you want to create success, right? Don't just sit there and hope it's going to happen, and don't go to the end result. Start from the beginning and go there. And here's a key thing that I've learned from you today, Darryl, that I really love is, if you know 10%, say yes, right? This is what I've really learned from your magic today, is your attitude, and you can hear it from your voice. Your voice is so confident that it can succeed and get to the 90 with your skill set, right? But if you said, I'm going to go and help personally develop people, and you got the 10%, you're probably not going to do that unless it's in construction though. Right? And sure. if you were going to do it in construction, and you say, yeah, I'm going to personally develop all these people in construction, and this is my gig, you would do it. 10% it's in your wheelhouse, right? And that's the key ingredient, guys, is that if you want to have something work, chase it and work your ass off, and you'll get to the other side.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing, right?
Yeah.
And then hang out with the people where your loose end is.
Yeah, right? Surround yourself with the right people.
Yeah.
At times you need different people for different things. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, even your friends, you need to surround yourself with good people in your friendship group to make sure they're all. So if you've got one person that's just a bum or something, and you want to achieve up here, is the disparity between you and your best mate. It's just too much. You know what I mean? Sometimes you need to change your friendship group to be able to be where you've got to be. Yeah. Again, right people around you at the right time to make everything work. And then, just chew like crazy, always say that,
Yeah, I love that. So I've got one last question for you, Darryl. Yeah. One last question. What is your favorite car out of your cars?
It's like saying which is my favorite kid, and I have a favorite boy and a favorite girl. I'm lucky like that. I have two. You can't say the same.
No, I can't.
Because you have 3. I don't have a favorite car, no, and not even just to be, a duty. I have 35 or 30. I don't know. So lots of cars. But there's certain cars for certain things. So I'm heavily involved in the Vintage Veteran Car Club. Some of those blokes are just the most beautiful people you ever want to meet, and just know so much. And people like, you want to know, so you want to fix something on an old car, you surround yourself with people from the old car. So, you can see how my world works, right? You're starting to see my crazy. But so, and you go there, but so you're at a Vintage Veteran Car Day, and you bring your brand new Porsche or your brand new Ferrari. Not that I have a brand new Porsche, a brand new Ferrari, but say, for instance, you take that to that wrong place to take that car. Yeah. Because we drive like Dave rolls Canali, rolls down and the Canali get back up, right? So you will go 50 kilometers an hour is top speed in them. So in your whatever other supercar, you get to the lunch spot you're going to, you get there about 2 hours earlier than everybody else. You've had lunch and you've gone and you don't even see anybody else. So the right car for that situation is an older car, is a vintage or veteran car, because you'll be in the right.
Yeah, okay. So you can't pick.
No, so it depends what you're doing. You go on a track day, there'll be a certain car I'd take. You're going to an all Holden day, you don't take your Ford.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So it's not.
Do you have a Ford and a Holden?
Yeah, of course I do.
You do? You have one?
Yeah, I've Hudson, Ford,
You don't
Holden,
fight?
Aston,
You don't fight?
No.
With that
They all sit next to
personality?
each other.
They sit next to each other.
And
Oh, Jesus.
the cars that I've...
One doesn't want to bang the other car?
Possibly. I don't know how they talk at night when I'm not in there, but always, even that, I've bought cars off people. I take them home, I sit them in the shed, and I said, here it is. It's with all its friends now. You know what I mean? It's hanging out here. And the amount of people I've had cry on the phone going, that's just amazing. So yeah. But I can't know. It depends on what you're doing and what the car is. I don't have a favorite car. Just like I don't have a favorite child. Just a favorite boy and a favorite girl.
Yeah, I love that. Well, Darryl, I really want to thank you for coming in and have a chat with me today, and jumping on Uncovered to uncover your magic, how you tick, how you think. And listeners, I'll get Darryl's details, and I'll put this in the show notes if people want to know sort of what he does from a construction perspective, and who he is and what he does. And if you are Canberra based and you are running a business, he has this amazing charity event that he runs to help the people of Canberra, and he's a very, very good human, and of that old school of trust. And I love what I've heard today, and I've loved our conversation. So thanks for hanging out with me today.
Perfect. Thank you. Thanks, Chase.
All right.
Hey, thanks so much for listening to our podcast. We'd love it if you could like and share it with your friends. Our website address is www.wellnessbreakthroughacademy.com. We also have all of the videos on YouTube under Wellness Breakthrough Academy as well. We also do small courses, live events. I have an amazing book called From Broken to Breakthrough. We'd love the opportunity to give you a hand to help you live your purpose, to find out what you're here for, to give you the direction. Our courses are amazing, and we do everything really, really differently for what's happening in the world at the moment. So come and find out how we can help you break your limitations so you can live the life of your dreams. We'll chat soon.